Mm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are live. They figuring this out momentarily. All right, so I think we're live. Let's get on over to screen share. I don't know why the camera quality sucks so bad. I need to fix that. All right, so today we're going to be talking about, the question, the big question, are we in a bear market? There's a lot of fears of that. A lot of people have been right about some of their, moves to the downside, their price calls, ever since we hit 120, definitely been a handful of people that have been in the right. So I kind of want to share my thoughts on that. Um, Make sure that we get in a good analysis of where the market stands and at least get my perspective of that. So I'm gonna flip over to screen share here. Just give me 1 second, please, as I get used to all these old things. All right. Here we are. There we are. Okay. So what we have going on, we had a little rundown of the past, but I'll do a quick one with a 30-minute time frame here. I think the worst of our crash was the Epstein files dump, and that ended at 60,000. So far, we've had support a couple times, consistent support. Oh shoot, I have to mute this. Sorry, guys. But I will check on the comments in case there's anything. Nice, good to see you, Al Cubes. Much love, brother. Okay, so yeah, we have a higher low. We're getting some consistent resistance and support. But we bounced out of this area, unfortunately, a lower low, but overall a higher low. Uh, this resistance is a little tighter, so we're kind of building some sort of flag-like formation, something I see kind of like this. It could be I think that we go sideways a bit longer, but uh I have a feeling that this move to the 60K range was like absolutely black swan. I thought we were in a bull market. I thought it would take some real convincing to get me out of a bear market mentality or out of a bull market mentality into okay, maybe we're in a 8 month, 1 year bear market pullback, sideways down mostly type thing, and some recovery toward the end of the year, maybe 2027 will pick things back up. Uh Now with the snap straight down to fucking 60, like insanity. Uh, I'm leaning more toward, all right, we're rebuilding, we're fighting at that mining equilibrium line. We are probably going to recover, over the next 3 weeks, probably back into the 70K range plus. And if that does happen, then I think the, Black Swan narrative holds. If we can get, to the 80Ks, especially over the next 3 weeks to a month, then I think an argument could be made that, yeah, that was just the Black Swan and there was some bad stuff happening, some market manipulation going on, whatever, some news, some fears that were exacerbated into this ultimate, fucking vertical decrease over here. Um, and obviously the line being held at 60K on the dot means that the sell the stop loss cells were unable to nuke that zone, which means that there's a ton of interest at the $60,000 range. That is critical to me. The fact that we hit something with all zeros, right? You guys know that in the order book, some of the biggest places that people are setting their orders for something like a stop loss is going to be around a whole number. For example, something that ends in a zero and it's a multiple of 10 at this price range, more likely a multiple of 100 or 1,000. Back in the $10,000 Bitcoin days, it was probably a, 10 or 100. But every $100 aggregation was very significant back then. I don't know if it's the same now. I think now every $1,000 aggregation is as significant as $100 aggregation values used to be. And so holding the line at something like 60K, where you obviously had sleepers who posted orders in the book quite a while ago, and probably set and forget their position, and they would buy Bitcoin at 60K. That's a great deal to them any day of the week. They and they stopped whatever else, what the fuck was going on in the market. We're talking stop losses, fear selling, all that stuff came to an end at a flat fucking round number. That's a good sign to me. That's a good sign. Could we double tap it and, really figure out what's going on down there? Sure. I wouldn't like it, but if it holds, then that would obviously strengthen the idea that 60K is it. But, when we had the March of 2020 crash down to 33, 3,500, whatever it was, after thinking that we'd never see the 3,000s again. Well, you know, we did not double bottom, did not double bottom on that. I think the discount of the century came in and people took advantage of it, which I think should be happening now. Really, this should be viewed as the discount of the century. So, well, not the century, but you get what I mean. This is definitely a great, great time. You missed your entries during the bull run. You thought that whatever, thought we would cap out at 50K. Well, guess what? That 60K entry, even this now, you're only off by, not nearly as much as off by doubling, having doubled your money. So always a good time to get in. Always a good time to get in. So yeah, just wanted to get in, get an episode in. I don't think that if bear market is confirmed, and I also don't think that we have confirmed the bull market scenario of climbing out of the hole. We've done a good job of establishing a higher low. We've done a good job of reaching some, consistent resistance areas over here. Maybe this line should be a bit more horizontal, to be honest, and this could potentially make a more of an ascending triangle case. We do have a couple points of contact around there. So I like to believe that this is a replica of what happened in March of 2020. If it is, then we're going to behave similarly, which was climb out of the hole, really like climb out of the deep hole, which is, let's say, the 60,000 mark in this case, or the 3,500 mark in that case, and get to there. Back then we got to the 6, 7,000s within 3 weeks. Pretty, very, very quick confirmation that that was an extreme over exaggeration of selling. So I think we're going to answer that question here very soon. It looks like we're in the middle of answering it, and it looks like we're leaning toward, yeah, that was the buy. That was definitely it. That was a place to set your positions long, and you might not get that position for another many years. That's what it's starting to look like based on this structure. Um, we obviously need time. So I'm leaning that we climb our way out. I think the higher we get, I think getting to the 70Ks, above 75K is me being optimistic, for a small, 3 week timeline right now. I think that's a little bit optimistic. Um, but I'm willing to bet. I would take that bet that we're going to climb out, get up to an optimistic level, and then the psychology can shift a little bit. The max pain is probably all on the bears. Let's talk about this for a sec. And Bitcoin Capitalist, up, bro, long time. Hope all is well. All is well, brother. Long fucking time. I know I'm back streaming regularly. I'm going to be posting the streams in Telegram and Discord. If you're not in those communities, we'll have links up. There's one below the video. I'll figure out some links and shit. I'm just getting back into this. I'm still like, I'm basically a noob again, and I'm gonna set some stuff up and try to make this streaming a lot more clean and consistent. Noon every day, my time or whatever. That I think that chops into the European evenings, and maybe I'll even do a late night stream or something after my son's gone to bed or something like that, and try to catch some of the other side. So yeah, if just yeah, keep the community alive. I'm rebuilding, and thank you for the support, brother, and happy you're here. Um, and yeah, so back just to the markets. I think we have a lot of time to sort this out. Like we've been doing everything slowly. We didn't fucking do the parabolic run like we thought we would. We did after the Corona crash. It took time, and like everything about this bull run has been mistimed. There's been like events like a new all-time high pre-halving, which was unprecedented in the Bitcoin space. largely due, I think, to the Trump election and stuff like that, right? And then we had the Chinese, and then things were going nuts, and then we had tariff talk. It's just been everything's been capitalized. The periods of time have been drawn out longer. The price action has been more profitable for people that can control markets, which BlackRock most certainly can. And all these other white collars that got involved are probably colluding and, making sure that everything's working out well for Bitcoin. We got people plugging in miners. There's every reason for me to still believe in the future of Bitcoin long term, and I think we're going to get ourselves out of this price area. I really think that we should have been in the bull market and have gone parabolic, and probably still be in the parabolic run right now. That's kind of like what history says should have happened. We're in February. Maybe we could have peaked out and started to be been in the middle of a crash right now, But that's historically what would have happened probably in Bitcoin. And what happened instead was a pre having all-time high, crazy moves to the upside, and then the halving comes around and everyone's kind of out of steam or whatever. Uh, yeah, it was a funky ride. It was a funky ride. Damn. And I'm listening to some good fucking music right now. It's been a long time. Been a long time. And I am down to stick around for a while if we have questions. If there isn't too much commentary, I'll probably just keep these short for now until we kind of rebuild the community. But yeah, any questions you guys may have, don't hesitate to ask as always. Reach out to me on Telegram as always. My can't access my Twitter. Don't have my Instagram got banned, all that shit, so just reach out to me on Telegram. Much love to you all, and we'll just pick this up. We'll just pick this up again. Uh Later today or tomorrow. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you all have a fantastic day and catch up with you soon.